হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে জয় রাধা গিরিধারী শ্রী রাধে জয় জগন্নাথ জয় জগন্নাথ জয় বলদেব জয় সুভদ্রা জয় গৌরনিতাই গৌরনিতাই জয় গৌরনিতাই নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল নিতাই গৌর হরি বল জয় শ্রী প্রভুপাদ জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ। হরে কৃষ্ণ বলছি।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. We are sharing the screen for reading the Prabhupada's Lilamrita.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'm reading from where it was ended last day. So our master has not finished his work. Everyone agreed with Kirtanananda that it was a form of impersonalism for them to think that because Swamiji was a pure devotee, he did not need their loving care. They should continue to care for Swamiji even after he got better. He had put himself in their care and they had to reciprocate accordingly. Swamiji had said they were like fathers to him, so they should not allow him to play the drums long and vigorously, to sing in the park for hours, to stay talking late at night, or to do anything that might endanger his health. Raya Rama said the Swamiji had asked him to reply to several letters from devotees on the West Coast and explained that he would probably never again be able to take on the strain of public lectures. The Sankirtan movement now rested on their shoulders. Raya Ram had explained in his letter that it was Krishna's grace that Swamiji was still with them and able to advise them when things got rough. But now they must increase their efforts to distribute Krishna consciousness to the world. The talk turned to the need for them to realize Swamiji's instructions and become strong devotees. Everyone agreed that they could do this by studying Swamiji's books more carefully and always acting according to his instruction. When they told Prabhupada about their philosophical discussion, he replied only briefly, Krishna heard all your sincere prayers, and he thought, all right, let him stay and do his nonsense. So many devotees are praying on his behalf. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 31, and verse number 10. Narada instructs the Prachetas. Kim janma bhistribirveha saukara savitra yagya kahi karma bhirvatrayi proktahi pumsopi vibudhayusa. Kim janma bhistribirveha saukara savitra yagya kahi karma bhirvatrayi proktahi pumsopi vibudhayusa. Kim janma bhistribirveha saukara savitra yagya kahi कर्मभिर्वात्रयी प्रोक्तैः पुंसोऽपि विबुधायुषा किं जन्मभिस्त्रिभिर्वेह शौकरसावित्रयज्ञकैः कर्मभिर्वात्रयी प्रोक्तैः पुंसोऽपि विबुधायुषा. Yes, devotees, if anyone wants to recite this verse.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I am trying.
Yes, Prabhu.
Kim janmabhi stribhirbeho shukra savitra yaggikoi karmabhi batroi proktohi pumso yopi vibhudayusha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
किं जन्मभिस्त्रिभिर्वेह शुक्रशावित्रयाज्ञिकैः कर्मभिर्वा त्रयी प्रोक्तैः पुंसोऽपि विबुधायुषा. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. I am also trying.
Yes, please Mataji.
King Janmabhistribhirveha Sokara Sabitra Jagnikai Karmabhirvatrayi Proktai Pumshopi Vibhudhayusha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. May I
Hare
try
Krishna
please?
Mataji. Hare Krishna, please.
किं जन्मभिः स्त्रीभिर्वेहा कौर सौक्रसवित्रयज्ञिकैः कर्मभिवात्रयी प्रोक्तैः पुंसोऽपि विबुधायुषा. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I try to?
Yes, Sukha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Kim
Krishna.
Janmhi Stribhirvahe Shok Savitri Ke Karmabhivar Karmabhirvar कर्मभिर्वः त्रिप्रोक्ते पुंसो अपि विबुधा युषः युषा. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna. So someone can read the synonyms.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Kim, what is the use? Janmabhi of birds. Tribhihi, three, ba or iha in this world. Saukra by semen, Savitra by initiation, Yagyikahi by becoming a perfect Brahmana, Karmabhi by activities, Va or Trayi in the Vedas, Proktai instructed, Pumshaha of a human being, Api even, Vibhuda of the demigods, and Ayusha with a duration lot. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. And someone can read the translation.
Yes,
And
Prabhu.
May I, Prabhuji? May I, Prabhuji?
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A civilized human being has three kinds of birth. The first birth is by a pure father and mother, and this birth is called birth by semen. The next birth takes place when one is initiated by the spiritual master, and this birth is called Savitra. The third birth, called Yagnika, takes place when one is given the opportunity to worship Lord Vishnu. Despite the opportunities for attaining such births, even if one gets the lifespan of a demigod, if one does not actually engage in the service of the Lord, everything is useless. Similarly, one's activities may be mundane or spiritual, but they are useless if they are not meant for satisfying the Lord. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. And yes, Prabhuji, Abhay Charan Das Prabhu, you can share the purport.
Yeah, surely. I'm just sharing.
Someone can read the purport. Yeah. They can take turns. It's a very long purport, so maybe each devotee can read.
Yes, Prabhu, I can
little
start.
bit.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The word Saukara Janama means taking birth by seminal discharge. Animals can take their birth in this way too. However, a human being can be reformed from the Saukara Janama as recommended in the Vedic civilization. Before the birth takes place or before father and mother unite, there is a ceremony called Garbhadhana Samskara, which must be adopted. This Garbhadhana Samskara is specially recommended for higher castes, especially the Brahmana caste. It is said in the Shastras that if the Garbhadhana Samaskara is not practiced among the higher castes, the entire family becomes Sudra. It is also stated that in this age of Kali, everyone is Sudra due to the absence of the Garbhadhana Samaskara. This is the Vedic system. According to the Pancharatrika system, however, even though everyone is a Sudra due to the absence of the Garbhadhana Samaskara, if a person has but a little tendency to become Krishna conscious, he should be given the chance to elevate himself to the transcendental platform or devotional service. Our Krishna consciousness movement adopt this Pancharatrika Vidhi is advised by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Thank you, Prabhu. I am stopping here.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. And someone else will continue.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I am there.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yata kanchana tam yati kangsam rasha vidhanatah tatha diksha vidhanena dijattam jayate ninam. As bale metal, when mixed with the mercury, is transformed to gold, a person, even though not gold and pure, can be transformed into a Brahmana or Dijo simply by the initiation process. Hari Bhakti Vilas 2.112 or 2.12. Thus, if one is initiated by a proper person, he can be accepted as twice born immediately. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we therefore offer the student this his first initiation and allow him to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. By chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly and following the regulative principle, one becomes qualified to be initiated by a Brahmana, because unless one is qualified Brahmana, he cannot be allowed to worship the Lord Vishnu. This is called Yaggika Janma. In our Krishna Consciousness Society, unless one is twice initiated, first by chanting Hare Krishna and second by Gayatri Mantra, he is not allowed to enter the kitchen or deity room to execute duties. However, when one is elevated to the platform on which he can worship the deity, his previous birth does not matter. Chandalopi dijo sreshto hari bhakti parayana hari bhakti vihinascha dijo shopak adhamo. So someone can continue after that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Even if one is born in the family of a Chandala, if one engages in the devotional service of the Lord, he becomes the best of Brahmanas. But even a Brahmana who is devoid of devotional service is on the level of the lowest dog eater. If a person is advanced in devotional service, it does not matter whether he was born in a Chandala family, he becomes purified. As Sri Prahlada Maharaj said, विप्राद्विषाद् गुणोयुतात् अरविन्दनाभ पादारविन्दो विमुक्तात् शापचम वरिष्ठम. Bhagavatam 7.9.10. Even if one is a Brahmana and is qualified with all the Brahminical qualifications, he is considered degraded if he is averse to worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if a person is attached to the service of the Lord, he becomes glorified even if he is born in a Chandala family. Indeed, such a Chandala can deliver not only himself but all his family predecessors. Without devotional service, even a proud Brahmana cannot deliver himself, and what to speak of his family. In many instances in the Shastras, it is seen that even a Brahmana has become a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Mlecha, or non-Brahmana. And there are many instances of ones being born a Kshatriya or Vaishya, or even lower, and in the 18th year, attaining elevation to the Brahmanical platform by the process of initiation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Someone else can continue, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Therefore, Narad Muni says, Yasya ya lakshanam proktam pumso varnabhyatya kankam yad anyatrapi drasyeta tatteneva vinirdishet. Bhagavatam 7:11-35. It is not a fact that because one is born in a Brahmin family, he is automatically a Brahmin. He has a better chance to become a Brahmin, but unless he meets all the Brahminical qualifications, he cannot be accepted as such. On the other hand, if the Brahminical qualifications are found in the person of a Shudra, he should immediately be accepted as a Brahmin. To substantiate this, there are many quotations from Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, Bharadvaj Samhita, and the Pancharatra, as well as many other scriptures. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Yes, the last paragraph, someone?
Can I finish, Prabhu, please?
Yes, yes, yes.
As
please.
far as the duration of life of the demigods, concerning Lord Brahma, it is said, Sahasra Juga Parayantam Ahar Yad Brahmano Vidhu Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam Te Ho Ratra Vidho Janaha. Bhagavad Gita 8.17. The duration of one day of Brahma is 1000 times greater than the 4 yugas aggregating for 320,000 years. Similarly, Brahma's one night, Brahma lives for 100 years of such days and nights. The word Vibhudhayasu, Vibhudhayusa indicates that even if one gets a long lifespan, his lifespan is useless if he is not a devotee. A living entity is the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord, and unless he comes to the platform of devotional service, his lifespan, good birth, glorious activities, and everything else are null and void. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, all the devotees. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you so much, all the devotees, for joining us for this Srimad Bhagavatam class. So a very, very nice verse. Before that, we'll just recite some prayers. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chaksurun Militam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Radha Govinda Goswami Niti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So this is a very nice verse, and this is who is speaking this verse? Who is
Narada
speaking?
is speaking this.
Yeah, Naradji is speaking to.
To the Prachetas?
Yeah, Naradji is speaking to the Prachetas. Naradji is speaking to the Prachetas. We know that Prachetas are the sons of whom?
Prachin Bodhisattva.
Prachin Barisat, correct, yeah. So Prachin Barisat is the father, and is it Satadruti is the mother? Yeah. So the Prachetas, and then we know that Prachetas went to the father, Prachin Bar, he asked the Prachetas to get married and beget children. So the Prachetas actually went to perform severe austerities. You know, when they were going, they found a very, very big lake, which was just like an ocean. And they wanted to go in and perform austerities there. And who do they meet first?
Lord Shiva. Prabhu.
Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva actually instructs them. Lord Shiva gives them a song to sing. And that song is known as
Rudra Gita.
Rudra Gita. So Rudra Gita was given to the Prachetas by Lord Shiva. And then that actually is a song in glorification of the Lord. That song, if you read the verses of Rudra that Lord Shiva gave, it's all glorification of the Lord, glorification of Lord Vishnu. That's why Lord Shiva is known as the topmost Vaishnava. Vaishnava means one who is a
devotee of the Lord Sri Krishna.
one who is a devotee of Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. So there's such a person is called a Vaishnava. And by the song of Lord Shiva, they followed the instructions of Lord Shiva. They heard the song. Lord Shiva did not actually give it to them in writing. Just Lord Shiva actually spoke it once, and they all heard it once, and they all could remember the songs. How many prachetas are there? Total of how many?
10, Prabhu.
10 prachetas. So they heard from Lord Shiva and they memorized it once. The whole song of Lord Shiva, just like we see that in the Srimad Bhagavatam. We know Srimad Bhagavatam when it was spoken by Sukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. At that time, Suta Goswami was also hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then later on, Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken by whom? Suta Goswami to the
Munis on the forest.
Shaunakadilji.
Yes, he spoke to 88,000 rishis in Naimisharanya. And of course, the person who was questioning on behalf or inquiring on behalf of all the 88,000 sages was Sonak Rishi. So he memorized the whole Bhagavatam. No, Bhagavatam was not in writing. It was not written. So he just heard it and then he memorized it and then he spoke. So here, the Prachetas were given the song of Lord Shiva. They memorized and for them it was not hard to memorize. They were strictly from following the Brahmacharya Vrat. They're all celibate and by celibacy one gets very, very intelligent. And here, they remembered and they chanted those prayers, and then they were able to see whom? After performing severe austerities for how many years?
10,000 years.
10,000 years.
10,000 years. 10,000 years, they were able to see whom?
Lord Krishna.
Yeah, they were able to see Lord Vishnu face to face. And then we know that after that, when they come out of the water, after 10,000 years, they see a lot of trees everywhere. And they started doing what? Burning the trees.
The trees, Prabhu.
And then someone came and stopped them, said, no, please stop. Who was that?
Lord Brahma.
Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma actually gave them some instructions that they should get married to one the daughter of the trees, whose name is
Marisha.
Marisha. So then they followed the orders of Brahma, and then they entered into Grihastha ashram. And now it is time for them. They have left the home, and now they have got one great son, very expert at begetting children, whose name is
Daksha.
Daksha. Is expert. So they've got Daksha as the son, and Daksha, of course, is very, very expert. Means a very expert. And so this is Daksha being born the second time, because the first Daksha was the son of
Lord Brahma.
Lord Brahma. This is the second Daksha, same Daksha. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is the same Daksha, but he's born. He had given up his life after he got the head of a goat. Now he's born the second time, and then now he is born as the son of Prachet and Marisha, and so they leave home, and now they want to retire. And who do they meet now?
Narad Muni.
Narad Muni. And they meet Naradji. And Narad, they say to Naradji that we have forgotten.
Forgotten the Lord and his devotional service.
Yeah, we have forgotten whatever we had learned earlier on in the verses earlier. That we have forgotten. We would like to know from you. Please instruct us. So these are the Prachetas are very, very special devotees, because we can see that Prachetas God association, they were able to associate with very, very great personalities. First of all, I mean, their birth is very, very glorious. They are great. They're born in a very good family, and plus they went to perform austerities, and when they're performing austerities, they met one great personality whose name is Shiva, Lord Shiva. And then after that, they also met Brahma, and then now they're meeting Naradji, Shiva, Lord Shiva, Brahmaji, and Narad. They're all great personalities. There's Mahajanas, Mahajano in Agatha Sapanta, and they're always, you can see that very, very, they're very good at following instructions. They followed instructions of Lord Shiva, and then before that, they followed the instruction of the father. What was the instruction of the father? To get married and beget
children.
They followed the instructions of the father. They followed the instructions of Lord Shiva. That's why they were able to see the Lord face to face. If they had not followed the instructions of Lord Shiva, then of course they wouldn't see Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu. And after that, we see that Brahmaji comes, and then Brahmaji says, you get married to Marisha. And again, they follow the instructions of Lord Brahma. Now they are very, very humble. They've said, we have forgotten everything. And they are being in the Grasta ashram, being in the household life. Please instruct us. And the Naradji is giving instructions. So Narad, this is verse number 10. Number 10, and in the number 9, ninth verse, Naradji starts speaking. Naradji said in the 9th verse, of course, about the importance of human body. So Naradji actually said that because these two verses are related. From if we need to understand number 9, then we can understand number 10. So Naradji is saying in verse number 9 that what is the use of what?
Human life.
Yeah. So of course in this verse, but in the previous verse it says the human body. When one gets the human body, the birth, and so janma, karma, ayu, man, and bachaha. 5 things. So what are the 5 things? The previous verse? Janma, karma, ayu, and
mind and
man,
words. Mind and words.
Mind and words. So mind and words, this actually will become, this only becomes useful or is perfect only when
Utilized for the service of the Lord.
When it's utilized for the service of the Lord. When human birth is actually meant for service to the Lord. All the verses that we hear, Nirdeha Madhyam Sulabham Sudurlabham, Plavam Sukalpam Guru Karnadharam Maya Nukulena Nabasve Iritam. Pumamna
Umam bhavaptim nataret
Bhavad Bhimnataret Sa Atmaha. So human body is just like a very strong boat by which one can cross this ocean of material existence. And it has become available to us. We have got this human body or not?
Yes.
We are hearing these instructions, and the instructions are meant for us because we have already got this human body. It's not that we are waiting for the human body. Some people are waiting for the human body. Some devatas, it's mentioned that waiting to get a human body like the body that we have. But we have, it has become sulabam. Sudurlabam, but sulabam. Sudurlabam means it's very hard to get. It's very hard to get, but we have already got it. Or do we have to wait for a human body?
No,
Just
Prabhu,
like
we have
others?
already got it.
We've already got it. It has become sulab. Although it's durlab. Although it's durlab, it has become sulab for us. And it is a very, very strong boat by which we can cross the ocean of material existence. And Lord Krishna is saying that Mayanu Kulena Nambasveritam. It is impelled by this boat, and it's Guru Karnadharam. Guru is the Karnadhar. Guru is the one has got a captain called Guru, the captain for the boat, and captain is actually the Guru, and all the favorable instructions and everything is just like the favorable winds. And if one does not actually cross this ocean of material existence, then he's actually a killer of his own self, Atmaha. So in the verse previous to this, verse number 9, saying that the all the janma and karma, whatever activities, become only successful or perfect or safal. Safal means, what's the word for safal?
Successful.
Successful. Yes?
Successful.
Successful, सफल. जब मनुष्य ये तब सफल है, it's only successful or perfect only when with all these things one is able to serve. The janma is safal when, or successful or perfect when only it is if one uses it for the service of the Lord. Janma. Karma is only successful when one is, or perfect when only one serves the Lord. Otherwise, karmano ipi karman lokoyam karma bandhana. Yagyartat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. If it is not done for the Lord, then it is actually
Only binds one to the material world only.
binds
Repeated
one
birth
to
and
the
death.
material world. So yagyartat karmano anyatra karma actually binds us. So what's the use of that karma? What's the use of the janma? What's the use of the karma? All these are actually meant, it only becomes useful or successful. All these things, even the ayu means the lifespan, and mind should be not for thinking of mundane things, but thinking of the Lord. And vacha, words, some people are very great speakers, but they only speak
About mundane, useless things.
mundane, useless things. So they don't. So that's only it can only become successful when it is used for the service of the Lord. When we have this human body and all these things are meant actually for the service of the Lord. Otherwise, in this verse it is mentioned, otherwise, what is the use kim janma bhi tribir veha, vaiha veha? What is the use of the kim janma bhis? What is the use of the three janmas? Who can take the three janmas? These three janmas mentioned here. One is through the father and the mother. And that is the which kind of birth? Birth? Saukara. Through the discharge of semen. That's called Saukara. Saukara birth. And then there is also the next birth which is called
Brahman birth.
Sa-
Initiation.
Brahman. No, that's called by initiation Savitra.
Savitra.
You're getting Upanayan Sanskar and you're getting you get a birth. There's a second birth. One is through the father and the mother. The second one is through the
Spiritual master.
spiritual master. And Yagyikahi means also there's a third birth which allows one to perform a yagya. That's why it is known as Yagyikahi.
Yeah.
Because one becomes qualified to perform yagya. Yagya Diksha, it's also called Yagya Diksha. Or one can perform yagya, or you can perform worship of the Lord, including the deities worship. So that's why it's called Yagyakei. So one is Sokara, means because it's related to the a union of the mother and the father, where the semen is released when they unite. So that's the first birth, the biological parents, mother and the father, and the second one is through not the father but the spiritual master, and then one gets the third one as well. So these are three different births, three births. Sometimes we call the people, Dwij, twice born, first birth through the parent, father, second birth to a spiritual master, through a spiritual master. So one becomes qualified to become a Dwija, or one who is twice born, or a Brahmana. So here it is mentioned that Kim Janma Bhis Tribit. What is the use of three births? What is the use of three births? Karma Bhirva Trai Prokte. So performing all the karma, and that is mentioned in the three Vedas. Proktahi means given, or instructed in the three Vedas. So karma here means all the different karma or activities prescribed in the three Vedas. And what is the use of performing, doing all these different kinds of karma for Pumsa Vibhudasaya, Ayusa. Vibhudayusa means
Long life like a demigod.
long life like a Vibhuda. Vibhuda means a Devata. What is, because we know that humans don't live that long on the earthly planet, but we know that the Devatas live for so long. And Prabhupada is giving the example of which Devata?
Brahma.
Brahma, who lives for how many years? 311 trillion, 40 billion years. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam. That verse, Lord, Prabhupada quotes, Ahar Yad Brahmano Viduhu Ratri Myuga Sahasrantam Deho Ratro Vido Janaha. What is the use of this kind of, what is the use of having a lifespan like that of Lord Brahma, and performing all the different karmas, attaining three births, right? Are these all of any use if it's not performed for the and if these activities are not dedicated to the Lord?
No problem.
Is it of any use? So that's why, what is the use of the human birth? And of course, we know that here is a specific mention of, is it mentioning of, is there a mention of all different kinds of birth, or human birth only?
Human birth.
Human birth. Why do you think it's only human birth is mentioned here?
Because only in this life human has the ability to think of the Lord and approach the Lord and understand it with proper consciousness, what is his relationship with the Lord, and he can perform the service accordingly.
Yeah, because humans can only use the ayu or man or the janma and the karma and the bachaha for the service of the Lord, or the words in the service of the Lord, not the animals. So here a specific mention of the humans. And the other thing is, can the animals have second and third birth?
No.
It's not meant for the humans. Can we see that a dog is going to for Brahman initiation or a second or diksha? Have you seen a dog being initiated or a cat being initiated, or some animals are following the rules and regulations so that they can get diksha?
No, Prabhuji.
No, this is meant only for the humans. Human body is very, very special, and human body, of course, is meant uh, for saving the Lord. Otherwise, the other bodies are good enough for ahar nidra maya maitunamcha. For these four things, ahar nidra maya maitunamcha samanya metat pashubhir narana. Is all for the for doing these four activities, the other bodies are perfect. Isn't it true? Are these four things, can it not be done using other bodies? Eating, and some we have to, if we want to have sufficient food for ourselves, we may have to work. But a blue whale who is eating so many tons of food, does he work for the richest person, for some big businessman, or he's working as a CEO or what? Or do they have to work? Do the animals have to work to survive them survive, or to feed their offsprings?
No, Prabhuji.
No, without, they're doing it very nicely. Or mating, they have produced so many children. They don't even have to think about, okay, we will only have one child or two children. They are having so many. Do you tell the animals to control population? Because you won't be able to survive. They don't worry about these things. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending, all these things, they're all they can do better than us actually. They can do better than us in many, many ways. They're living in a forest, so many animals, and the animals don't even need a hospital. They don't have to have a hospital, but humans, they always go through, get, they need to go to the doctor and others. So they're all doing all those four things very nicely: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So that is not, uh, that if one is doing only those four things, then one is as good as an animal. Samanya metat pasubir narana. So here it is mentioned, what is the use of the janma? What is the use of one, not one janma, two janma, three janmas of, if one is uh, not not doing performing devotional service to the Lord? Is also, if when we talk about ayub here, vibudhasaya, vibudhayusa means the lifespan like Brahma. There's also mentioned that tarava kimna jivanti. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, Tarava kimna jivanti. What is the meaning of this? Tarava
Romesh,
kimna jivanti.
the trees, Prabhuji, they have a
Are the
very long
trees,
life.
are the trees not living? The question is, are the trees not living? They're also living, isn't it true?
Yes.
They live how many? They live longer than humans. Some trees can live thousands of years. We were recently in Christchurch, near the botanical garden. I saw that some of the trees that the age of the trees were written. That this tree was planted so many hundreds of years ago, and the tree is so huge. But does it make the tree great because it has been living there for so many years?
No, Prabhuji.
No. So Janma is not because of Ayu. Okay, oh, I live so many years. Oh, what's my life? What I'm still healthy. I'm 80 years old or 85 years old. I'm still healthy. Some people say like that. What is the use of healthy body and age if it is not used for service of the Lord? And there's also another, of course, there's this phrase, Bastra Kimna Swasantyota. Are the Bastra means the bellows of the blacksmith not breathing? They're also breathing. And also, na khadanti na mahyanti kim grame pashave apare. So, are the animals in the village grame pasava animals? Those animals we can see with our own eyes. Are they not eating? Are they not producing children? Mehanti? Are they not discharging semen? So, what is the greatness? If you are breathing, if you have got a long lifespan, you are living, or you have got a long lifespan like a tree or some other animal, you are breathing. Swans to lay around. What is the use of this breathing? When श्वास पे नाम ले वृथा श्वास मत कोय ना जाने उस श्वास का आवन होए ना होए. The swans, the real breathing is every breath we should chant the holy name of the Lord. What is the use of otherwise breathing? Other animals are also breathing. Other animals are also living. Other trees are living. Animals are also eating. We are eating. Animals are also producing children. What is the use of all these things? The actual purpose of human life is to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. So that Narad ji is actually the Prachetas are very, very humble. Very humble. Why do you say they're humble?
They listen to elders, the seniors.
Yeah, they listen to, they're very obedient, and also they did not to speak about their greatness to Naraji. They could have said, "Oh, Naraji, thank you for coming. We have previously met Lord Vishnu. We have previously met your father Brahmaji. Oh, yeah, we have also met Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva gave us this song, and we sung that song, and we performed austerities, and we have got a great son whose name is Daksha." Some people, when they meet the sadhus, what do they tell? Oh, I've got this son, I've got that son, I've got my son is doing this, doing that. Instead of asking the sadhus, what do? They speak about themselves. Isn't it true? They tell a long story first. And his story is about themselves. I am this, I am this, I am this. My background, my children, my qualification, all these things. Here, what are they saying? We are grastas, we have lived in the grasta ashrama, we have forgotten what instructions we have got from Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. We would like you to instruct us. This is the greatness of and humility of a Vaishnava like Prachetas, Vaishnavas like Prachetas. Of course, there's Prabhupada writing all the different things about, especially about the Brahmanas. Prabhupada says, how one in this Kali Yuga, it's all Shudras, but one can actually come to the platform of Brahmana. And if one has the qualities, then they should be recognized as mentioned in the Mahabharata, that Prabhupada quotes that verse. The qualities are important, and one who has, by the spiritual initiation, one can come to that platform. All these things are Prabhupada actually mentioning. So the main thing is that the human body is Janmalabha Parapumsa Mante Narayana Smriti, so that we can remember Krishna, so that we can serve Krishna. That is the purpose of human life. That's the purpose of human birth. And he's talking about here in this verse, Narad is saying, otherwise everything is just useless. Mogasa mo karmano mo jnana vichetasam rachasim asurim teva prakriti mohinim shirta. That's what is Lord Krishna saying in the Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise everything is useless. Mogasa, all the hopes are of no use, useless. Mogasa, mog karma, all the karma, mog jnana, all the knowledge is all useless. If it is not for If you are not, serving the Lord, it's all useless. Yes, so thank you so much, all the devotees. So, what are some of the things we learned in this verse? So, if you have any questions, we've got about 5 minutes.
Hare
Anyone
Krishna
has got a
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. What are some of the
Prabhu,
things we learned?
I
Yes,
think
Mataji.
everything is useless if we will not engage Rama service to the Lord Krishna.
Very nice. Everything is just useless. This human body is useless. This life here is useless, and all these things are useless. A long lifespan is useless if it is not used for the service of the Lord. Very nice, Mataji. Anything else, anyone?
Real humility, what is?
Mm. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. What is real humility? Real
Yeah.
humility is also here. We can see they know Rudra Geet and everything, but they think that they've forgotten everything, and because of being in the Grest ashram. Of course, it's very very true. One thing we can learn here is, see, they think that they have believed in the Grest ashram. 10 prachetas lived with one wife, and they think they have become entangled and they've forgotten. So, so 10 prachetas living with one wife, and now we live, let's say humans, men in this world live with one wife, then they think they are not entangled.
They are
They think they're, yes, ma'am.
They are in ignorance.
They're in ignorance. Hare Krishna. There's another thing we can learn. Thank you, Mataji. Anything else, devotees?
Another thing is that everything is possible in to serve the Lord is possible only human form of life. So we should consider the importance of it and utilize it properly so that our human life is not go to in vain.
Very nice. Human life is so important, so valuable. It is. Already we have got it, and we use it for the purpose for which we have been given. Very nice. It has been given to us for a purpose, and we need to know that purpose. And how do we know the purpose? We only come to know the purpose of human life through the scriptures, through these words of Srimad Bhagavatam. These are the words of the Lord. Human body is given to us by the Creator for this purpose. And that's why again and again we hear all these things. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else?
Prabhuji, human birth is very durlabh, but we are so fortunate it has become sulabh for us, so we can perform the devotional services.
Yes. It is durlabh, but it has become sulabh for us. Sudurlabham, sudurlabham. Sulabham, sudurlabham. So yes, we should. It has become available, although it's very rare. So we should use it for the right purpose, and the right purpose is the devotional service to the Lord. Krishna consciousness is the purpose. Ante Narayana Smriti, that's the purpose. Janma Labha Pura Pura. Asa Etavan Sankhya Yoga Bhyam Swadharma Parinishthaya Janma Labha Parapamsa Ante Narayana Smriti. Janma Labha, the real purpose of human life, the real gain is Ante Narayana Smriti, to remember Krishna. Yes, anything else? Anyone else? Anything else?
Really, another thing is that when we are in family life, I mean, when in Grihastha life, there is often a chance to forget the Lord, but we should be careful and always remain in contact with the Lord, so and get the proper instruction from the sadhus or the saintly person, so that we don't forget our responsibility while discharging our duty as a Grihastha or a family person.
Very nice. Very nice. See, we can see, like, look at the example of the Pandavas. Even though they were living in the forest, when they were in the kingdom, they were associating with the sadhus. When they are in the forest, they are associating with the sadhus all the time. Because otherwise, it's a very risky position. Being a grihastha, it's very, very easy to forget about Krishna. Because you have got so many household things, household affairs to deal with. It's easy to forget. So, but when you keep associating with the devotees, then you are again and again reminded about the purpose of the life. Otherwise, we start identifying with our body, and we start, it's easy to forget. We start doing things on the bodily platform. Easy to forget about the Lord. So it's important to remain with the devotees, associate with the devotees, and not forget Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Especially when we are in the Grihastha ashrama. Anything else? One last thing, and then we conclude. Okay, so thank you all the devotees. Shri Shri Radha Girdhari Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Shri Gaurnikar
Jai.
Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Bhakt Hanuman ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Pancha Kalpataru
पतितानि पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय हिज ग्रेस माधव गोविंद प्रभु की जय प्रभुपाद की जय गौर प्रेमानंद देव
हरि हरि बोल।
की ऑल ग्लोरीज
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu,
Thank
so
you,
much.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.